We have been living in New Zealand for 12 years and we hear so many common misconceptions about the UK where we're from. And so we thought it would be a good idea to go through 8 of the most common ones that we hear, things that people say about the UK that just aren't quite right. It's that the Brits are prudish, Brian.
Oh, they are.
Brian. We went on that nudist beach in Greece.
Yeah, we did.
Especially number 5, but yeah, let's make your own mind up about that. So let's hop on over into the show and see what they say about the UK.
Hello.
Hello and welcome to It's a Drama podcast. I'm Liz.
And I'm Brian.
And today we're here to talk to you about the misconceptions about the UK.
Da, da, da.
We have done another episode on misconceptions about New Zealand and it went really, really well. And we were like, do you know what? Sometimes we meet people and they'll say things to us and we think, oh no, you've obviously never been to the UK. So we thought it would be a fun idea to do common misconceptions.
And so these are opinions of the misconceptions, are they, or are they?
No, these are
real?
We're British. We
I
know Brian. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, if you're new to the channel, we're Liz and Brian, husband and wife, and we are British.
Yes.
Living in New Zealand.
In New Zealand.
Yeah.
In midwinter's day in New Zealand.
So common misconceptions about the UK. Number 1, we're going to keep it. We went, oh yeah, we're going to be snappy today. We're going to be onto
we're
it.
really
so
snappy.
You just watch this, okay? We're being snappy. Number 1, common misconception is probably the most obvious one. People assume that England is the UK.
Yes. Yeah, they do. You tend to think English. You say, oh, yeah, you're from England. And you're like, well, they could be from Scotland, Wales, or wherever, couldn't they? Yeah.
And do you know what? Hands up.
Very, very true.
I am the worst. I'm the worst of
probably
all.
are.
I am.
Yeah.
You've probably heard me on the podcast before, like, oh, in England, and I suppose it's because we lived in England, so you do tend to refer to it. But
yeah, and England's quite small at the end of the day, isn't it, when you think about it?
Yeah.
You know, the UK as such is
so
a
you've
lot
got
bigger,
England, Ireland,
well,
Scotland. Okay, go on then.
You go on.
No, go on, because you know I'm going to make a fool of myself.
We've got England, Ireland, Northern Ireland. Sorry, there's me following you. So it's all right. Let's start again, shall we? England,
yes,
Scotland,
yeah,
Wales, and Northern Ireland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Southern Ireland is not part of the UK. Just to clear that up.
No, it's part of Europe. It's in the EU, but
Yeah.
it's not part of the UK. So it's ruled by a completely different government and separated by the Northern Ireland border and the Irish Sea.
So all those England, Ireland, Scotland, Wales, they've all got their own borders, their own identities, and they identify as their own country, is it? Or just,
but
is it a country? No, it's
yes,
not.
they're individual countries.
Oh, they're individual countries.
Individual nations, but the United Kingdom.
I'm only 50.
Yeah. And it's a misconception because everyone just thinks, oh, yeah.
And not just about not just people outside the UK, Brian.
Yeah.
People like me.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
No, I know that makes it the UK, but...
Yeah, well, they had a big referendum in Scotland, didn't they, to, separate themselves from the United Kingdom. So, and they voted against it, and now they're trying to vote again. So it's like a bit like Brexit. So you're going to vote twice, and then you vote a third time. It's just, crazy.
All right, so number 2, common misconception about the UK is the Queen. Thinking that the Queen is just a figurehead. And again, this is really common in the UK as well. I thought a bird was going to come down on me then. Thinking that the Queen has got absolutely no powers. Now, I've done a bit of research, hang on. And although she doesn't,
govern.
No. Although she doesn't, don't put words in my mouth, please.
All right.
Although she doesn't exercise these rights, Bri, I've written it down, exercise, because I say that all the time in everyday speaking. So the Queen can actually suspend Parliament.
Yes.
She's got the power to veto changes to the law.
Yes.
And if she wants to, she can remove or appoint ministers.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
What else do you think she can do?
She can have your head chopped off if she really wants.
She's got the power to declare war.
Yeah.
So, like I say, she doesn't exercise those rights very often, but she has got the power to do it. So she's not just there, to look queen-like and sit in Buckingham Palace.
No, it's true. I mean, yes. I mean, we weren't getting into too political on this, but
no, don't start. No, do not start getting. Don't anyone comment up about politics because I don't know anything about it,
and we don't really care.
No, well. You do a bit, but I mean,
brother-in-law does.
This is just a bit of light-hearted fun.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing about the Queen.
This is just for you, this podcast.
Right, number 2 is that it rains all the time.
Yep.
Well, that's true.
That's bloody true. Absolutely.
No, it's not. It's
No.
not. But I tell you what, we live in New Zealand and it grates a little bit when if it's raining and you meet someone and they hear you with a British accent, they'll go, "Oh, you're used to this." Not so much now. They don't say it because
I know, but let's
they
just
know us,
but... I mean, one thing is we live in Taranaki and it rains an awful lot, which it does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So,
but
but it's like this as well.
Yeah.
But last week, the whole week,
this is the
it
sunniest
rained.
place in New Zealand, actually, Brian.
This year it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Changes every day, apparently.
But no, it doesn't always rain in the UK. Please don't think that.
No,
I mean, it does rain a lot. Do you know what? I don't want to do that. This isn't about a difference between New Zealand and the UK.
No,
I don't want this to be that.
No, it wasn't. It's supposed to be misconception. But
Yeah.
that's what the misconception is. But we're just saying that.
But I just want to
grates
say
a little bit
something.
when people say it does rain all the time in the UK.
Yeah,
It's
because
like,
it doesn't.
It doesn't. No.
And I just want to quickly say about the difference, like I say, is when it rains in New Zealand, it really rains. Like yesterday, all the gutters are overflowing, and that's not unusual. It rains, and it rains like mad. And then the next day, it's like, I think that's why no one moans about the weather here.
It was blowing a hoolie, wasn't it? We were driving over to your mum's last night to celebrate Sonny's birthday there, and Tess was driving, and we were going all over the road at one time.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, Brian. Don't you agree that when it's the weather here is more, I don't know, it's just more, I was going to say sincere then, some more severe, and then it's not like that drizzly,
Yeah, I mean, you don't get the severe winters what you can in the UK. I remember growing up in the UK, and it was cold in the 1960s. I remember it snowing at Christmas and things like that, and it never really happens.
Don't start telling the story about how you didn't have any central heating, because that is a lie, isn't it? No, don't start. Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah,
but sometimes you try and make out that you didn't have central heating.
No, it was toasty and warm in my house.
So,
my dad was a heating engineer.
And don't forget as well that the UK's got seasons, gorgeous seasons, really proper, lovely seasons.
Yep.
And you can get, yes, it rains in the winter and spring and summer and autumn and everything, but
every other weekend.
I tell you what, the year Sonny was born, he was born because it was his birthday yesterday. He was born in 2001. He was born in June, obviously, and
it was boiling.
It was, Brian.
Absolutely boiling. It was flaming June, wasn't it? We were going to buy that picture at one time because it was so apt.
Boiling.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
Do you know what I love about the Brits? I love it is when it gets hot, and it can get really hot in Britain. Don't think that old New Zealand is the only one that gets hot, because we can get some really hot summers over in Britain.
Yeah.
Do you know what I love is when it's so hot, they go, "Ooh, it's like being abroad."
It's like Spain.
You'd think you're abroad now, wouldn't you? That's what they say.
When I was in Florida, it wasn't as hot as this.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I tell you what, though, when it gets hot, when we were living in London in 96, and 1996, that is, for anybody who's not that old, it was boiling. I remember I was in the van for 10-hour, 11 hours a day, and it was just baking hot, about 30 degrees almost every day, and it was just so hot. No air conditioning in the car. It was boiling. It really, really was.
Did you moan?
No, I loved it.
No, you didn't, because you said to me, my legs keep sticking to the plastic seats.
Yeah,
you had to put that little blanket under your legs.
I had to put a towel under the bed, because I had vinyl seats. Imagine how hot those vinyl seats were when you opened the door. And it was an ex-smoker's van as well.
Sticky legs.
Yeah, my Astra van.
That's the thing. Like, going back to that thing is, I'm going to say New Zealand because we live in New Zealand. We are now New Zealanders, but it's like, they don't moan about the weather, and they also don't moan when it's too hot. Whereas in Britain, we moan when it rains, and then we moan when it's hot.
They kind of laugh at you when you say, "Oh, it's raining," and they go, "Oh, yeah, well, you'll be used to that." And it's just like, it is. It's funny. But...
Okay, so what number are we on already? Number 3.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a common misconception about the UK. This is more about the British than the actual country, than the UK. But they say that, and the Americans, I'm sorry, Americans, but you're responsible for this.
Oh.
You're saying that the Brits have got bad teeth.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Apart from the Hollywood stars. I've not really heard anything like that whatsoever.
So yeah, apparently, and I honest, hands on heart, I didn't know this until I just started doing my research. And apparently, there's a couple of, it's a misconception, it's a conception of the Brits that they've got bad teeth.
Yeah.
And now I come to think of it, Bri, once, and I can't remember who it was that I was doing it with. I was doing something, and someone said to me, "Oh, you've got really nice teeth," and they said it in the sense of like, and I almost expected them.
Surprised.
Yeah, I almost expected them to go, considering you're from England.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think that is a huge misconception, is just for the fact, I think, or two ways you can look at that. If I'm being honest, I would look at it as like, a lot of the UK people don't really care that much about the visual look of the teeth. I don't mean about rotting teeth and things like that. I'm just thinking, you know, when you're a kid, if you had braces, you got laughed a bit. Like now it's fashionable to wear braces, isn't it? Like, you know, like straighten your teeth up. So a lot of Americans will, you know, you see all those high school movies, and they are movies, but not every high school kid has got braces, have they, in America?
Yeah. Actually, I have written a fact down here, Bri. Hang on. It was the fact that OECD statistics show that kids in the US have nearly twice as many decayed teeth than those in the UK.
Really?
Yeah. And also, I think you've got a really good point there, because I don't think it's that the Brits don't care about their teeth.
It's not the care.
I think maybe they're not as, I hate to say it, but they're not maybe as vain. And I think maybe, you know, they're not, I've got to be careful, but they're not like into flash. Maybe they are a bit more now, but like when that statistic came out, 2015, it was like, you're not so, you know, you're not so bothered about them being super straight and super white and super perfect.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean, Brian?
No, I that's what I mean. It's just, it wasn't the culture. The odd person at school had braces, or if you fell over in the playground and nearly smashed your teeth out, then you'd have braces to straighten them back up, like, you know.
And guess what? Now it's more fashionable to have crooked. Apparently, it's fashionable to have crooked teeth.
Yeah, it's.
I would be on top with my crooked teeth. I would be there on my little crooked bottom tooth.
I've got crooked bottom teeth as well.
I think it gives your face character.
Well, it does. I used to have a big gap in my teeth until I lost my front tooth.
Yeah.
I won't tell you how, but and the dentist.
Fighting, weren't you?
Yeah, but yes, it was fighting as well. And the dentist closed the gap up, and I was like, no.
Oh, no.
And it was just like, and that's what they did. That's when we were in Thailand, when we were traveling the world, weren't we?
So number 4, common misconception about the UK is that the food is rubbish. Brian,
no, nothing wrong with fish and chips.
Brian.
Yeah, but that's the misconception, isn't it? Meat and gravy, that's all you have there.
No. So again, hang on, I've written my facts down. The UK is the 7th, is it the 7th? Yeah, the UK is the 7th, or it's got the most Michelin, the 7th place in the world that has the most Michelin stars.
And the worst food.
Pardon?
And the worst food.
So what do you mean? I don't know what you mean. Is it supposed to be funny?
Yeah, 7 Michelin stars and the worst food.
I don't get it.
No, it doesn't matter.
All right, okay. So I'm laughing, but not at your
joke. Do you want to start number 4 again?
No, I won't. So anyway, yes, the UK has got lots of Michelin star. Should we tell the story about when we went to that Michelin star restaurant in Bath?
Yes.
So we went to a Michelin star restaurant in Bath. This is when we had
Bill Clinton had been there, hadn't he?
Yeah, we didn't have kids, and we had, you know, we had a cafe. We owned a cafe, and we had a little bit of money.
Birthday.
Yeah, but we would, what's it called, cash? You know, we had lots of cash because.
Did we?
Yeah, because we had that cafe. I don't, you know, but we had money to spend.
You had liquid money. That's the word you were looking for, wasn't
liquid
it?
money. That's the thing.
The day's takings, basically.
Yeah, and we went to this Michelin star restaurant in Bath, and I'm not joking. I think it was called Letonay or something like that.
I'm pretty sure it was Letonay, yes, because we were trying to figure out what was that name of that Michelin. Because it's not there anymore, is it?
No, it's not. Or they moved to Pulteney Bridge and then they changed the name or something like that. But anyway, we went to this restaurant and it was flipping pompous, wasn't it? It was pompous.
It was amazing. But it was, but the pompous side. But it was
they sent out an egg that was made of flipping jelly or something. What was it?
No, it was.
It just came out an egg, like a single. It looked like a hard-boiled egg.
It was, but it was almost like a. It didn't have a sorbet in it, but it was almost like a creme patissiere, didn't it?
It was.
And it was, but it was.
Oh, I'm being a bit.
It was made ever so well.
Don't get me wrong.
It looked like an egg, but it didn't taste.
To look at
obviously.
that meal was flipping. But I was starving, and it was about 25 courses. Do you remember?
Yeah, but lots of little sorbets in between, and
it's come out, and like the meats would be like that, and you know how much we like our food.
It was like the nouvelle cuisine, wasn't it? Where they lift it up and go, "Jadang," and it's like there's a little quail
we were
there,
trying to be so like, here we are, look at us, like, you know, because we were only. Oh, I don't know. I was about 29 or something. We were young, weren't we? And
we'd never done anything like that before, had we?
No.
Been to see anything like that before.
No.
Yeah.
So we were trying to be ever so, you know, oh, look at us with our 20 courses. And neither one of us wanted to say, do you think it's a bit rubbish. It
Yeah.
wasn't rubbish, but it was just...
No, I can't even remember how much it cost. It probably
It was
cost.
flipping
I think it was
fortune.
about £250 back then, wasn't it? It
Yeah.
just seemed to be a fortune. Hey, Sonny.
So common misconception, the food. I mean, don't let us put you off. Oh, you can get some flipping brilliant food in the UK.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know,
you can.
I've never had the best fish and chips I've ever had in my life. Sorry, New Zealand, but Ireland, wow. Oh.
Yeah, but that was Ireland, so it's not the UK.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Oh no.
We just talked about that.
Yeah, but we went to both.
From chocolate, I think.
Yeah, but we went to both parts, didn't we? We went to Southern Ireland and Northern Ireland, and where we had the fish and chips was, okay.
Yeah.
But best fish and chips ever, and where Cornish pasty. I mean, come on, Cornish pasty.
Yeah, but even the pies are good in the UK. You know, if you can go and get, you know, steak and kidney pie and all those sort of things.
Yeah.
You know, some of the gourmet pubs and things like that. Unbelievable. You know, steak and ale pie. Always used to love having a steak and ale pie or a nice piece of venison or something like that in one of those type pubs. And, you know, that sort of all the game that you can eat with the partridges, not partridges, the pheasants and all those sort of things. It's great. I do love that type of thing. And, you know, you can have goose for Christmas if you want and things like that.
Oh, don't brag. That was making me feel really hungry. But so please know the food in the UK is flipping brilliant. It really is.
It's amazing. But even bangers and mash is great when you do it properly.
Yeah. And don't believe anyone who says to you that the food isn't good. But my advice to you would be, well, that's just us. But we wouldn't go for like super posh and super this, because we've done that so many times in London and Bath and everything, haven't we? And every time it's been a little bit disappointing.
It is. I just used to love. I loved it back in around the millennium when all that fusion cuisine was coming out in the UK. It's just changed the whole face of UK cooking, didn't it? Like,
it did, yeah. And
it was when Jamie Oliver was getting into it, and Gordon Ramsay and all that sort of thing, and it was outstanding, wasn't it? You know, the snapper that we used to go to in Bristol was an outstanding fish restaurant.
And another common misconception is that people either speak posh, like me and Bri, or they speak in a Cockney accent. I suppose this is not so much.
Everyone talks like the Queen or talks like.
I think this is aimed more at Americans. I'm sorry, but this is more our American audience.
You say that though, Liz. When I came to New Zealand, because I didn't have like a strong accent, it was kind of non-geographical because I grew up in Liverpool and I was born in Liverpool, grew up in Cornwall, and then we moved around a little bit, didn't we? So it was kind of like you lose that identity of an accent as such, like, you know. And when I came here, they were going, "You don't sound like English, you sound more like a Kiwi."
Do you know what I think? Well, first of all, before we, before
I'll
we
get
jump,
some more chocolate before you get to.
That's why your teeth are rotten.
Yeah,
before we jump ahead. Oh, and I forgot to say as well that yellow teeth are stronger than white teeth. I forgot to say that. Yeah. Anyway, before we jump ahead, guess how many dialects there are in the UK?
Wow, I would say probably 120.
Oh, Brian, that's just silly. 40.
40 is that
dialects?
it?
Yeah.
I suppose. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can have different dialects in
There's
village to
almost
village,
a
can't you?
different, exactly.
Yeah.
There's almost a different dialect for every county, and that is so true. You can tell when people come from one part of Devon or, one side of Devon that's closer to Cornwall or another side of Devon that's closer to, where's the other one that borders it? Is it Somerset or?
Somerset,
yeah. So many different accents. There isn't just the posh one. And
no. So I'm going to ask you now, Liz.
Don't, Bri, please. I'll kill you.
What's your favourite accent?
Right. I thought you were going to say, put me on the spot. What's my favourite accent?
In the UK.
Either the Geordie accent, so Newcastle accent, I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Or the Lancashire accent. I love the Lancashire accent.
Yeah.
And you know what? I've gone a bit weird now because I didn't used to like this accent. Sorry, people out there that speak with this accent, but I didn't used to like the Bristol accent, but now I flipping love it.
Yeah, because it reminds you of home, doesn't it? Because that was the last place we lived as such.
It's really warm and just, like Stephen Merchant, you know, the comedian Stephen Merchant, he's got a Bristol accent for those of you who don't know.
Bristol sounds a bit like that.
Yeah, Bristow. Yeah. And it's just this talks like that.
Hello,
isn't it?
ladies.
I'm from Bristol. Yeah, hello, lady. Oh, and there's this gorgeous guy. Big shout out to the cafe down the road from us. Lemonwood Cafe, and there's a guy that works in there. He's called Victor, and he's from Bristol, and that's what he says when we go. And he goes, "Oh, hello, Liz and Brian. How are you today?" And
You've got a lovely
I just want
accent.
to hug him.
I know, it's so
I
nice.
love
Yeah,
it.
it does. Yeah, it does. It makes you feel homely.
Yeah,
Doesn't
it does. And I can never tell in New Zealand. I can never tell. Actually, that's a lie. I can tell when people are from the south, on the South Island.
Yeah, but
I
again,
can't
you're
tell.
actually telling more. So this is why I said more about dialects around the UK. That sounds to me like you're just talking about England with dialects for 40.
Am I? No, it said the UK.
Did it?
Well, England is the UK, though,
yeah,
isn't
but
it,
you've got
Brian?
all those Scottish accents. So you've got Glaswegians and you've got,
Well,
you know.
I don't know. It just said 40. Maybe you're right. I don't know. But anyway, there's a lot. Stop trying to get me into trouble.
Yeah, even like Ulster and all those, you know, those type.
What's your favourite accent?
I have to say, I'm not a huge lover of the Welsh accent. I do like I like Gavin and Stacey.
I love the Welsh.
I do, yeah. When you say that, and then you
Oh,
think,
you've
oh,
gotta
that's
love-
it. I know, and then you have
the
to love the
Welsh.
Welsh, yeah, because I've got Welsh in
Yes.
my bloodline.
Don't let your dad hear you saying that.
Yeah.
You'll be in big trouble.
Yeah, no. So you say that, and then as soon as I said it, it was like, oh.
Did you feel disloyal?
I think what it was is because we had a guy working for us in the cafe, and he used to nick from us.
Yeah, he did.
And he was Welsh, and I think that's
he
what
had his
it made
hands in
me.
the till
Yeah,
all
he
the
did,
time.
didn't he? Yeah, yeah. His brother used to come in and he used to hand the money
Yeah,
out.
pretend he was handing him a
Yeah.
tissue, and then we caught him
Yeah.
red-handed.
Oh, we did. That's another podcast
Yes,
all
that
alone,
is
isn't
another
it?
story. But he
Yeah.
was Welsh. But that's not to say that all Welsh people are like that.
Sorry, Welsh. Because you've got the North Wales and then you've got Southern Wales, haven't you?
So
And
go on, then. What's your favourite accent? Quickly.
Again, I do like that Geordie accent. I really
Yeah.
do. it's
Gorgeous,
one of the
isn't it?
hardest ones to understand sometimes.
Yeah,
It really
and
is.
I wouldn't attempt to do it. I could never
No.
do it.
Are we the lads? That's all I can ever say.
Were you the lads?
No, are we the lads?
Oh,
Are
okay.
we the lads?
Actually, Brian
The-
is a Scouser. He's from Liverpool. Aren't you, Brian?
I am, yeah.
And guess what? People say, they write up, Jim will fix it right up. And they say to me, oh, he sounds so much like a New Zealander. You have got a New
Yeah, a
Zealand
Cornish
accent
New Zealander,
now. No,
hey?
yeah, a little
That's what
Cornish,
you-
a little Cornish New Zealander.
I can
You
tell by
are.
the way because your arms are getting tighter.
Right, okay. Stop distracting me now. Yeah, so people, right, okay, here's another one. There's no decent beaches in the UK. That'll be quick and easy to do. Yes, there is. So
Jeez.
move on.
Yeah.
There's flipping beautiful beaches
yeah,
in the UK.
Yeah. And we're not just talking the Cornish beaches, we're talking a lot of places.
Where's
Yeah.
your favourite beach in the UK? Oh, it doesn't matter because it's going to take too long for
Well,
you to think.
it's Port Kernow in Cornwall.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
my favourite.
I love that.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
white sands and granite cliffs. They're just outstandingly beautiful. Really is.
Oh, beaches, yeah. We don't need to say any more than that. Just
Yep.
know that that is not true. Right, okay. Next misconception is that the Brits are prudish, Bri. Prudish.
Well, they are.
Brian. We went on that nudist beach in Greece.
Yeah, we did.
So we're
Yeah.
not prudish then,
No,
are
so
we?
we're not British. No, but you get naturists in the UK. But
Would
yeah, we
you
do.
say that the Brits are prudish?
Yeah. Yes, yes. The
Would you?
majority. Yes.
I must admit, I'm
Linda's
a bit
quite prudish.
Yeah.
Is she?
No, Linda. No, she's not. Are you trying to
my
wind her
sister,
up?
yeah.
Yes. So if you want to know if people are Brian's family, they go to Glastonbury. They're flipping having that body painting stuff done. You know where they
Yeah, Linda used to.
they're very free and easy.
On the full moon would dance in the cornfield
Yeah.
and then take pictures and
She
send them
did.
to us.
I mean,
of
can
the
you
whole
imagine
family.
doing that? They used to, they lived next to this field and they would run around
In
under
the summer.
moonlight. Yeah. That's not
Yeah.
prudish. I'm prudish, I must admit, but that's not to say all the Brits are prudish.
No.
And the other thing that I love about the Brits is they can laugh at themselves. And that's a
Yes.
huge, huge plus, isn't it? You know?
No, it is. Yeah, yeah.
So,
That's that's a
on.
huge thing is the humour. Yeah,
yeah. But that's not a misconception because everyone knows that the Brits have got a great sense of humour.
Yeah, they do like the humour.
Right, okay, so nearly done. So the beer's warm, is it? I don't know, I don't drink beer.
Well, real ale is warm. So
Why?
if you go into
Who
a pub,
wants to drink warm beer?
it's not warm. It's just room temperature or whatever the cellar temperature is. Because that's how it was. It was like saying, why do you drink red wine? Room temperature.
Oh, so are you supposed to drink beer
Yeah,
warm?
certain beers are supposed to be drank at room temperature.
Oh, I didn't know
they're
that.
not supposed to, like lagers and fizzy beers are served cold because you have to serve them cold half the time because you won't get them in the glass because it'll just overflow because there's that much gas and stuff in them. But just like ales and things like that can just be drunk warm. Yeah.
Oh, I never knew that. So why is it when they put an advert and they're like Carlsberg, the most refreshing
Yeah,
beer
because it's
in
a
the
lager.
world?
It's not a British beer.
Oh, so lager isn't beer.
No,
Oh,
no, ale.
Oh.
You know, so like ales and things like that, which are, you know, your British ales and things. They're outstanding. You know, even like so your Irish beers, your Kilkennys and things like that. They don't have to be ice cold, but those ones tend to, if they're brewed to be served at that temperature, then that's what they taste like at that temperature. I remember doing a beer tasting at Mike's Brewery here in Taranaki, and you know, he was saying this one needs to be drunk at -4. And that's like, well, it's frozen, but it's not because there's alcohol in it. So, and it was like, wow, that's -4. It was amazing. Yeah.
Do you miss your British beers, Bri?
Yes, I do, to a degree. I do. Yeah, I miss going. There are some fantastic microbreweries here, but I do miss to go in and get an English ale from a barrel with a pump.
But what about that time you said on your plumbing video? And if you haven't seen that, go and watch it, when Brian was a plumber in New Zealand. And you said, oh, my friend said, come on, Brian, let's go for a beer. And you said, no, I want to go for a swim.
Did I?
Yes. Actually, that might
I don't think it was. I think it was a swim, but it was something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, that might not have been the plumbing video. I'm only winding
I think it was. Yeah, it was. I didn't think so or something, wasn't it? I can't remember.
We used to drink those little bottles of French beer, didn't we? When we just
but they've got to be served ice cold, haven't they? But I mean, it's true to a degree that, you know, you never used to get ice cold beer. You know, like when you go to Florida or something, and I just remember going into a bar in Florida and them taking the glasses out of a freezer. So
that'd be nice and refreshing.
your glass is like ice cold, and then they pour the ice cold beer in it. So like you haven't got a warm glass sitting there, and then you put the cold beer in, and it's taking all the heat out of the taking all the chill out of the beer. So, you know, that side of it, I can understand why people would have a misconception saying that the beer can be warm. You know, but that it's depending what you're drinking. You know,
I don't like cold red wine, Bri.
No, we had that once in a routier in France, didn't we, at lunchtime? I don't know why that was.
And that just felt weird.
Yeah, it was really cold.
Why is this red wine so cold?
It's going dark, isn't it?
All right, so that rounds up our misconceptions about the UK. And big shout out to the UK.
Yep.
Love you so much.
England, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and Wales.
Yeah, we live in New Zealand, but we still love the UK. It's just, and one day we'll do a podcast telling you why we moved from the UK. But it was more to do with us than it was, just to give you an idea. It was more to do with us.
Yeah, I'll never bag the UK because that's where I grew up. And you know, people say to us on this channel, I leave comments saying, "Oh, you refer to Kiwis as Kiwis, so because we are New Zealand citizens, me and Liz, we have our New Zealand citizenship, but I don't know, you still class yourself as British."
I was going to ask this.
Kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I was going to ask, is there still people listening to this? If our loyal fans are still listening to this, I know a lot of you are expat Kiwis. You live overseas,
all around the world, don't you?
And you're around the world. Do you still consider yourselves New Zealanders, or do you say, like, some of you live in America, some of you live in the UK, or do you
Australia,
say, or do you say, oh no, I'm British, even though you were born in New Zealand?
Yeah, are you Kiwi? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yes,
do you refer to yourself as now American or British, or you know, it would be so interesting to know, because this is a debate, a topic for another conversation. But...
It is, yeah. But because even when we went traveling, a lot of people say, "Oh, where are you from?" And you go, "We're actually from New Zealand, but I'm actually
no.
British."
Yeah, but I never told people.
I know. You'd have to know.
New Zealand.
You'd have to.
Oh, well done.
You were welcomed with open arms if you said you're from New Zealand.
I hate to say it, but it was true. You just didn't tell anyone you're from Britain. It's like, you would just say, "Oh no, we're New Zealanders."
Yeah, I used to wear my All Black shirt all the time.
You did, yeah.
It's like, there you go.
So that would be an interesting thing, just to, and it just comes down to, I think it's in your blood. You know, that deep feeling
unless you hate
of
the country that you were born in, then you can't wait to get to something else. You know, there's reasons why we became citizens, because it was just better all around, like, for the family and everything.
Yeah, exactly. And we're dying to tell you that story, but for now we're going to say goodbye, because it's getting a bit chilly here in Taranaki.
It's getting down to probably about 10 degrees, so it's not overly cold, but it's
Hey, Brian, I didn't want to show you this, but guess what? Hang on.
What?
Look what I've got. Hang on. Oh, wait.
Oh. A hot water bottle.
A hot water bottle. That's why I've been sitting here nice and cozy.
I know. Thinking, I did put my fleece on.
Shivering.
Yeah, I keep going like this because it's getting chilly.
Okay, so we hope you enjoyed the podcast on misconceptions about the UK.
Yep.
And please feel free to comment and let us know if you know any more or what you think, or we just always love hearing from you.
Yeah, and you've got to see what it's like in the middle of winter with the sun going down, the sun setting over in that direction. So you're just going to see some nice colours in the background.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, and kia kaha, stay strong,
Yeah.
and hey, we'll see you next time.
Goodbye. See you soon. Bye.
Hello.
Daddy, I love him!
Mother thanks you.
All right, Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
Hello.